So we would encourage you, as most of you are probably dealing with bacteria issues, to attend that and get some up-to-date information on some of the changes in the science with bacteria source tracking. Nikki, do you have anything on the Texas Watershed Steward Program? Not Nikki, Galen, my bad.
Galen. I would help you pass these around. It's a program schedule. And to introduce myself, I'm Galen Roberts. I'm a program specialist with AgriLife Extension Service, and I coordinate the Texas Watershed Steward Program. And I think most of y'all may be familiar with the program, but for anyone who's not, it's, in short, a one-day education program designed to improve the water quality here in Texas by educating and informing local stakeholders about their watershed and watershed management. And basically the goals of the program being, like I just said, to educate and inform these stakeholders about their watershed, potential impairments, and steps that they can take to improve water quality in their area. By so doing, hopefully, we enhance stakeholder involvement in these watershed management activities, most notably the watershed protection plans and TMDLs, but basically anything, community cleanups, voluntary monitoring activities. At the very least, hopefully they'll change some behaviors that may be contributing to water quality problems in the area. And relax, I don't have a long presentation to take up your time, but I did want to pop up one or two slides. I would like to say our program is funded through 319H, Clean Water Act, non-point source funds. Actually 2 grants. We just started our second one in September, which allows us to continue implementing this program across the state. It's a 3-year grant, so we will continue to implement workshops statewide until August of 2014. These monies allow us to do these programs at no cost, so they're free of charge to participants. And we've had a goal of 10 to 12 workshops per year. We did our first one in December of 2007, and so far we've held true to that goal. Conducted 37 workshops across the state. And we have 6 planned through mid-2012 so far. You can see here in the darker color. And so very soon we will have really lived up to the term statewide program and have been really all over. That brings me to the sheet you have in front of you. It basically has 4 categories. The ones on top are the workshops we've been to and conducted already. The ones in green are the ones we have upcoming and scheduled. The few of which I have listed here. Our next one in Highland Bayou, February 22nd. That's a coastal watershed in Galveston County. We're holding that in Lamarck. The Concho River in San Angelo on March 23rd. And then the San Antonio Bay in Victoria. We haven't set an exact date for that one yet, but the 2 proposed dates are April 18th and 19th once we get a venue set and find some availability. And the Paso del Norte, which is a stretch of the Rio over near El Paso. It extends up into New Mexico. So this event will be, we're collaborating with folks in New Mexico on, New Mexico Department of Environment, New Mexico Department of Agriculture, and New Mexico Extension on. And that one we actually set a date for yesterday, and it will be held May 9th out in El Paso. So for a complete and updated listing of the trainings, the locations, and also to pre-register for any of these events, you can find that on our website. I update that pretty regularly, so for the most current information, go there. Before I explain the rest of the sheet that you have in front of you, I'd like to mention that we do have an online course available up on the website. It contains everything that we cover at one of the workshops we do in training or in person. It's a really neat tool, also available on our website that you can go through yourself or with others. It's a really neat teaching tool. And we're constantly improving on that and updating it. We just added some videos to it of a demonstration that we do at an actual training in person. So we're trying to...
You don't mind if we use that, like I work for San Antonio River Authority, if we wanted to do some extra presentations ourselves to some of our...
Absolutely, that's what it's there for. In fact, that we hope you will use that to educate others and pass this information along. My contact information here. You'll see here below we have a few obligated watersheds, which should take up most of our time for 2012, but the suggested watersheds, the list isn't full enough to fulfill our goals through 2014, so we've got some searching to do to find new locations. And so I will encourage anyone, if you have an idea for a workshop location, we tend to choose watersheds that have management activities ongoing, like a watershed protection plan or TMDL, and typically go in at a stage where our involvement will most benefit that program by enhancing stakeholder involvement. I will say that we are limited not only to time but financially also, so we can't go everywhere that we'd like to or conduct as many workshops as we'd like to, so we have to prioritize somewhat. But if you have an idea, by all means let us know. I coordinate with the state board on choosing locations, so we will definitely discuss it and explore the possibility. I can't promise that we will go there, but if you have an idea, please send it our way. Also, if you see one of the workshops that we're going to or have already scheduled or are obligated to, and I haven't spoke with you personally, please get with me. I'd like to involve everyone that we can. The idea here is to reach as broad of an audience or as many people as we can to really boost stakeholder involvement. Because we find a vast majority of the people, general stakeholders in general, don't really have a very good understanding, if any, of how watersheds work, local water quality issues, and how they can become involved or make a difference. So that's basically, in short, our program, what we're doing and where we're headed. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them now, or my contact information is here. I will note the website again. It's got some great information about the program on it, as well as those tools, the online course. We have developed a handbook, which is a comprehensive publication, contains everything that we cover. We've broken it down into 5 sections or modules, as we call them. But a really great tool. You can download that for free on the website, or you can order it through the AgriLife bookstore for about $18, I believe. So, any questions?
Thanks a lot, Gary.
Thank you.
Want a few other folks kind of give us some update. The Texas Stream team, tell us about a few of the things you have going on and upcoming.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erin McCauley, and I'm the statewide monitoring coordinator for the Texas Stream Team program. And I think most of you are familiar with our program, but if you're not, in short, we are a volunteer water quality monitoring program. We train citizen scientists and get them out in the watersheds. And we just started a new grant cycle December 1st, and we are scheduling some trainings. There's some handouts right over here with upcoming events that we have going on, if you'd like to grab one. I didn't print enough out for everyone, so I hope it's enough to go around. So our staff is also working very hard on our online data viewer, which is an exciting tool that we're getting going. It's going to allow our monitors to enter their data directly online, and it's also available for the public to go and view data in real time. So we're cleaning it up right now. Our data, we have about 20 years worth of data that we're kind of sifting through to make sure that once it goes live, the data is accurate. So in March, it should be going live for you guys to log on and actually see the data, and for our monitors to enter their data online. And finally, we're developing a suite of watershed services that can assist with watershed management. So if you guys have any needs for stakeholder outreach, engagement, volunteer monitoring, please think of us. We've found that our program is very successful in identifying water quality problems before they become an issue, and working to prevent impairments. So, thank you.
Thank you, Erin. One last program we wanted to at least get you aware of is that'll be available for your watersheds hopefully pretty soon, is the Texas Well Owner Network. And have Ann Bellstorff with AgriLife Extension here to speak on that.
Thanks, Kevin, and I think Jan is passing around some schedules for us. As Kevin mentioned, we're just getting started, sort of, and I better stand behind the microphone, I guess. We've been underway for about a year with the first of two components for the Texas Well Owner Network, and let me back up a little bit. The Well Owner Network looks at the relationship between surface and groundwater. For example, many of you are working in watersheds that are impaired for bacteria, and some of your work groups may suspect that one of the sources for that bacteria may be malfunctioning septic systems. How do you get people's attention who are operating those malfunctioning septic systems? They're pretty much good with the way they are now. Well, one of the ways you may get their attention is if they have a well, is to ask them to bring, at our Well Owner Network session, to bring a sample. We'll screen it, and then the next day we'll have an educational meeting where we return the results and give them about an hour program on wellhead protection and local land use and how that can affect their well water quality, and it may also cause them to clean up their septic system and reduce the bacteria inputs to your watershed that you're trying to protect. So that's the first component, and you can see at the bottom of the sheet there's some purple highlighting. I believe it's purple today. And it shows the number of samples that we've been able to do in this first year, and it's pushing 1,000, so we're pretty pleased with the response we're getting from the public on that. The second component is going to be sort of it's the same look and feel as the Watershed Stewards, and we'll go into watersheds where the Watershed Stewards program has already made an introduction of some of these concepts. And it'll be a program that'll be about 6 hours in length. Again, we're going to ask the participants to collect a water sample, bring it in, and they'll even do some of the testing at the very beginning of the program of their own water sample to really engage them in some of the results, and some of the best management practices that we talk about will really resonate with them when we get to those sections. So that'll be about 6 hours. It'll be also similar to Watershed Stewards in that we'll have a handbook. We'll deliver with several speakers, and we'll deliver through different modes so that it won't be boring for people at all. So I know you're all ready to go, and I just wanted to mention the main person who will be conducting this program is Christine Ullman. She's unable to be here with you tonight. She's a program specialist, a very capable person who will be telling you more about the program at upcoming roundtables probably. And you'll meet Christine, you'll meet John Smith, who has been leading the screenings. Another co-PI on this grant is Mark McFarland, also a co-PI on the Watershed Stewards, to give continuity between those two programs. And then also Bruce Lessiker, before he retired, was a co-PI, and he's being represented, especially on the septic aspects of the program, by Brent Clayton and Ryan Gerlich. So we've got a really good team, and we look forward to getting into your watershed. Christine and John at this time are already contacting watershed coordinators and county extension agents to get things planned. So if they give you a call, please try to work them into your schedule for work group meetings and that kind of thing. So any quick questions? I don't want to hold up the group too much, but
Data become public at least the watershed scale.
the data become public. Now that's a good one. I meant to speak about that. You can see that the first training, that's the way we're designating the 6-hour trainings versus the 1-hour screenings. Is May in the Ogallala, I think is what we're planning. But because we want to go out there with our handbook, which is being reviewed now and has to be printed, that may slip. So we're looking at this summer and maybe into the fall. Optimistically May. But anybody else? All right, looking forward to working with you all on this. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Diane. All right, just a few other announcements. TCEQ wanted me to let y'all know, if you weren't already aware, SWCM has released some new procedures for monitoring during drought. That's available on the TCEQ website. So those of you that do monitoring, check those out. Secondly, they wanted to make sure that I'll let you know about the 2012 State Water Plan. It's out on the Water Development Board webpage as well, so I'm pretty sure most of you are aware of that, but if not, you can check that out on the Water Development Board website. We'll have another watershed planning short course in September. We haven't nailed down the exact date just yet, but Courtney, what dates are we looking at there? The week of the 24th, I think, is the week we're shooting for, but we got to get with all the instructors for that. And finally, in July, we'll see you again at the next roundtable meeting, and we'll take those results from the survey and get a notice out as soon as we can on the specifics. So